Hi, it's Lami again. I'm TraXel's nurse coach with another episode of Holistic Approach to Wellness with MS. Today, I'd like to talk about how hard it is to just deal with disappointment and uncertainty with MS. I basically had just recent setbacks of my limping getting worse and going to the doctor and kind of just being surprised a little bit about what we had talked about. So basically, my current treatment is no longer working, and he mentioned and we kind of discussed other options and what to try next. And I'm not going to lie, that did throw me off a little bit. Am I surprised? Yes, it was surprising, but also it should make sense that that's what we're talking about, because I have progressed, and it's not been overnight. It's been small little episodes and just slowly progressing over the last 5 years. So in that sense, it hasn't been too bad, but the fact that, my treatment's no longer working was kind of, I wasn't prepared for that with the doctor's visit is what I'm trying to say. And then also what we did talk about, and we're still in discussion about what treatment will be next, but most likely it will be a pill. And I'm just not the best with taking medication. I try not to do medication. So my current treatment is Ocrevus, and I liked that because it was just an IV infusion every 6 months. I didn't have to deal with it or anything, and it's kind of just used to that whole routine of it. But just with taking pills every day, I'm not used to that. And then also, we started me on a new medication to help me with walking called Empira, and that's twice a day. So again, I am not used to taking medications. It's just kind of just different for me. I try to do everything as much as I can without taking medication. But like I've always said too, there is a time and a place for everything. And it's not like I'm against medication. I just try to do everything I can within my power. And I guess we're now at a point where I need to do something else. And I just have to accept that, or at least continue to do my research on it and figure out if it is going to be right for me or not. Most likely it will be, but again, still in discussion with my doctor. And I'm not trying to advocate or encourage these specific medications I'm talking about. I'm just trying to be transparent and just tell you what I am on, in case you were curious. And in case you did want to discuss anything with your doctor about these medications. So again, always talk with your healthcare provider about medications that will work for you. But I just kind of wanted to let you know what I am on. And so with that, I know I talk about positivity a lot and gratitude, which is great and key. But I definitely lost it that day after the appointment and just let myself cry. I was sitting in my car, just so upset. But it felt so good in that moment to just not, it's not always about being happy all the time or trying to, push through things. You have to experience your emotions and deal with it. And honestly, I felt much better after I just kind of let myself release a lot of tension and emotions that I was going through. And with that too, though, I highly encourage you to start journaling if you don't do that. It's very therapeutic. I know it helps me a lot just to process emotions and help me deal with everything that I'm dealing with. But even if you're not even sure how to start that or anything, just keep it super simple. You can just literally start with, today was horrible or today was a good day, and then just put because XYZ and kind of go from there. And you may be surprised that it may just kind of lead you to just start writing whatever. It might not even be anything MS related. Maybe it was just other things with work that was bothering you and that triggered maybe some MS symptoms with the stress. So you'd be surprised. I would highly recommend just trying it. I know I wrote a ton that day as far as just everything concerning that. But I do have one just great example of a prompt. Lovely friend Kim, my fellow nurse coach that I did have on another episode with when we talked about the breath as a superpower. She happened just text me today actually about something completely different. It was just in regards to relationships, but it also applied to this concept of, it's hard to deal with disappointment and uncertainty. And that really applies again to not just dealing with MS, but to anything in life, work situations, relationships, you name it. And so I thought that was interesting that she happened to text me that, because it really just opened my eyes to a lot of what I had been dealing with lately. But one of the prompts that I kind of just wrote with my journal was, what am I afraid of the situation and what it means about me? And what do I actually know to be true? And so to me, that second part was huge, because yes, I can write about all my emotions and everything like I just talked about, but this question really just makes you go a little bit deeper into how you're feeling. And then, okay, is it, of course, yes, it's valid. I'm feeling frustration and being upset and everything, but also what do I know to be true? And that part I love. So I'll actually kind of just tell you a little bit of what I wrote. I just basically put, what I'm afraid of. If I'm being completely honest with myself, it's being afraid of, my mobility just really even progressing even more than it is. And so, affecting my ability to travel or just be able to do things that I want to do. Just how will it affect my life if it worsens, etc. But what I do actually know is that I'm grateful for each day. I'm grateful for my family, grateful for the support that I have. Just have to remind myself just to reframe and shift. And yes, again, it's great to just make sure you are dealing with your emotions and the stress and sit with it and actually just be honest with yourself about how things are. But also try not to just stay there too long, because that can really just keep you feeling low for long periods. And of course, that just won't be helpful for you in the long run. So again, I had to remind myself to just pivot and be grateful for what I can do and what I do have now in the present, and then kind of just go from there. But also, there's another quote. Of course, I have a quote for you that I love. It says, "What you're not changing, you're choosing." And so, of course, we have no control over diagnosis of MS and the symptoms and dealing with it, complications, etc. But what I like about that quote is that, somebody else had said too, in another quote, 10% of what happens to us in life is out of our control, but the other 90% is how we respond and how we react to it. So that's kind of how I try to ground myself and humble myself when I have MS, as far as why me, all of those things. But it's life happens no matter what. It's out of our control. What can you do about it? But there's a lot that you can actually control that's greater than the issue itself. So again, just having gratitude. Like right now, I'm just sitting in my public library patio. It's not doing anything special, but I'm enjoying this lovely, we just had some rain, so the weather's a little bit cooler right now. It's evening time, and I'm just people watching cars go by and people walking their dogs, etc. So just doing something as simple as getting outside helps me just appreciate life and appreciate the little things and even the noise like right now. But yeah, I'm able to at least just sit outside and enjoy some fresh air and, company, things like that. So what I want to just stress again is, my intention is always to try to uplift you, try to inspire you, and just help you with your perspective and your mindset, and really help you just kind of look at things a little bit different, and hopefully just give you small tools that might make a difference. And with that, I just want to say thank you again for listening to another episode. I appreciate everybody's support. And then until next time, let's continue to keep each other healthy and happy, and have a great week.